Good morning. It's 5:32 a.m. on Wednesday, day 24 of the 27-day challenge. And we're going to review a little bit day 23. At first, I wanted to get into a concept. As I'm looking over the past 23 days of the challenge and trying to figure out, okay, so what have I done? What have I not done? What have I kind of done and then undone? I don't want to do a total review right now. We'll do that on Sunday once the challenge is over. But it's kind of interesting. It makes me think of a couple of things. The biggest one perhaps is that concept of procrastination and what makes people put things off. Because there are a lot of things that I've wanted to do as part of this challenge that I've put off. One of them is my Speak and Deliver book, which frankly I haven't worked on at all. Another is working on my speech for Saturday night, which I traditionally put off until the last minute. I'm not sure why. I mean, when I work with my clients, I'm always making sure they're on the ball and working on their speech and practicing. And for me, I tend to open up my speech a day or a couple of days before, make some changes, do a little bit of internal practice, and then I just go out there and try to make it happen. And usually I'm pretty successful with that. Actually, I'm always pretty successful with that. It's only when I get to the next levels where I really start to practice and practice and practice, and then I get to that semifinal level and then just don't end up getting the success that I want. At least it's been that way since 2008, the last time I had success in the semifinals. When I went in 2009, 2011, and last year in 2014, where I went to the semis, and in 2009 I took second, and then the other two I did not place. So you think about that, and you think about, well, when what you're doing brings you success, you tend to keep doing it. And in my life, I think procrastination has always brought me a fair level of success. I can think back going all the way to college when I had a research paper for my English class, and I didn't do the majority of it until literally the night before. I stayed up all night long, typed it up on my old typewriter that I got as a graduation gift, and ended up getting an A on the paper. And so, my procrastination was rewarded. A lot of last minute things, in the newspaper business and the magazine business, you're always working on deadline. And so you always have that time until you have to turn something in to make sure that it happens. You have a certain deadline to sell things. And I'd always do well. I'd always end up meeting the goal that I had set. I'd make decent money. So procrastination has always seemed to reward me. But unfortunately, procrastination now, as an entrepreneur, as somebody working on my own, if you look at kind of the Covey model, Stephen Covey and the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, I've kind of used procrastination to let the urgent and the essential get in the way of the important. I do these things that I have to do, and then I'm so stressed out that I'm doing all these things that I have to do that I then kind of move on to the easy things to do and don't always get around to the important things that I need to do, because the only one setting a real deadline for me is me. And that was one of the things I'd hoped to do with this challenge, was kind of set a deadline for me. And it's certainly there. And I'm down to the last 3 or 4 days, and I'm thinking, I've got to do this, but it's not really reasonable for me to write a whole book in the next 4 days, especially when I still need to make sure that I'm ready for this speech. So it's one of the things that I have to look at about me, and maybe it's something you have to look at about you. Maybe not. Maybe you've mastered this. And if you have, hey, put some ideas down in the comments to help me master it. But procrastination, it's that concept that has always gotten in my way, and yet it's rewarded me. And the concept of the urgent and the important, like yesterday, that's what yesterday was. It was get up and take the kids to school, and then I went and saw a client. And seeing a client is an absolutely productive, essential part of my life. That's a fantastic use of my time. And after that, it's racing to get back up here to take my daughter to school because she only had a half day, and then going to Toastmasters, and then running and getting another daughter back from babysitting, and then running and going to get the rest of my kids from school. And by the time I get home, I'm exhausted, and all the kids are home. And then I have to take another daughter back to babysitting because my wife's not home from work yet. And I'm just so stressed out. I'm thinking I can't do anything. I'm not in the mood to do anything. So I sit back and I watch The Flash, which I can justify because I'm doing it with my family. It's a family activity. The urgent, the essential, the rationalized, all getting in the way to some degree of the important and the productive. So anyway, this video is going really, really long, and if you've made it to the end, congratulations and thank you. And I hope this concept has made some sense to you, and I hope it gives you some ideas as to how you might be able to look at it in your own life. I'm going to have a great day today, one way or another, and I'm going to win anyway. And I hope you do.